Alert! What fans are awakening to today feels more like a full-fledged media firestorm than reality TV. Timelines erupted overnight with startling headlines, cryptic live stream footage, and breathless blog posts all centered around the same explosive claim. Rumors are circulating that a very personal rumor about Tamar Braxton has been thrust into the public eye. Just before news of Mendeecees' arrest breaks, and right before Yandy Smith is purportedly drawn into a heated altercation, fans are often asking the same question due to the enormous volume of chatter. How did things spiral this quickly? None of this is verified as fact. Online criticism and circulating accounts claim that the drama began with murmurs. Rather than sirens or court filings, screenshots, ambiguous captions, one sentence that was taken out of context and turned into a headline that was impossible to ignore, as producers hurried to connect dots that could or might not belong together. Fans were outraged, emotions were running high on social media, and rumors started piling on top of rumors. The purported altercation then occurred. Tensions allegedly erupted behind the scenes, according to commentators, and Yandy's name became popular. When posts implied a fierce argument with Tamar, reaction channels are reenacting the incident, complete with raised voices, pointed fingers, and supposedly offensive language, even though there is no film that verifies what actually happened. One fan commented, "This went too far." Another person stated, "Some things should never be used as weapons." Reports that Mendeecees had been arrested appeared just as the narrative looked to be getting heavier. The internet collapsed due to the timing alone. Fans started questioning whether there was a connection between the occurrences or if the overlap was just a coincidence right away. Was there a domino effect, a disorganized confluence of unconnected crises, or something more profound that hasn't yet come to light? The story is expanding more quickly than the facts, despite the efforts of blogs, podcasts, and fan pages to frame the story. Furthermore, the damage is frequently done long before clarity emerges in a world where rumors spread faster than the facts. Who is actually caught in the crossfire, and how did we get here? Stay tuned, as the next reports will simply stoke the already burning fire through sporadic internet talk that gradually develops into a full-fledged narrative. The story begins to acquire traction in the most recognizable way conceivable. Posts concerning a private rumor involving Tamar Braxton start to circulate late at night, stating that unsettling reports are emerging. These reports are presented in an urgent and frightening manner, yet they lack proof or validation. Fans are taken aback when they see remark sections reiterate the same assertion, while adding more emotion and conjecture each time. The rumor itself is characterized as extremely personal, which many viewers feel should never be made fun of. Even in theory, online conversations claim that when Yandy Smith's name is mentioned, the issue gets more heated. According to analysts, tensions between different members of the reality TV group had already been escalating, and this rumor is said to have taken things too far. Viewers are informed that a dispute may have turned into a heated argument. Reaction films confidently depict sharp remarks, rising voices, and a moment when emotions were high enough to cause long-lasting harm. But no one claims to have verifiable footage. Fans are conflicted when they watch these breakdowns. Some quickly defend Tamar, arguing that she shouldn't be involved in such a serious matter because she has already faced enough public scrutiny. Others contend that Yandy has been unfairly singled out by a gossip culture that enjoys manipulating circumstances to generate hits. In the court of public opinion, the family was split, with advocates on both sides claiming their viewpoint makes the most sense. Instead of facts, every comment section turns into a battlefield of emotions. Alleged insiders start making ambiguous claims as the reports go on. They assert that Tamar was taken aback and offended not only by the rumor, but also by the fact that it was being repeated in any setting. According to these voices, she questioned who she could trust in a setting where personal boundaries seemed to disappear overnight and felt deceived and overpowered. However, other critics speculate that Yandy might have reacted defensively in a moment of rage, After being triggered by the ongoing controversy and accusations, despite the fact that none of these stories are verified, they quickly gain traction due to their emotional plausibility. The fire is fueled by the resurfacing of old clips from previous reality TV events. Fans convince themselves that warning flags were always present by analyzing past disagreements, tone of speech, and facial expressions. As viewers saw connections between footage from years ago and contemporary rumors, their emotions were running high. Unresolved tension, according to some, always finds a way to reemerge, particularly when cameras and public attention are involved. Others argue that going back to earlier moments merely serves to skew the present. Concern over the consequences of reiterating such assertions is growing as the internet community argues. Many followers voice their opinions, claiming that even talking about health rumors is immoral. They contend that despite disclaimers, opinion can still be harmful. Social media is inundated with messages of compassion and solidarity from Tamar's followers, pleading for people to stop spreading such harmful information. Commentary stations, according to critics, are merely relaying what is being said elsewhere and placing the burden on the viewers for ingesting it. When word spreads that Mendeecees are being detained, the situation changes once more. Again, official remarks are rarely widely disseminated in these debates, and details are limited. Nevertheless, the fan community is shocked by the timing. People begin speculating about connections right once, wondering if the arrest and the purported altercation are part of a bigger series of events. The synchronicity is highlighted by reaction creators, who portray it as being too dramatic to overlook. Fans respond with a mixture of intrigue and terror. Some are concerned about the psychological toll on all parties, particularly families that chose not to pursue public life. Others acknowledge that they are unable to turn away, characterizing the story's development as chaotic and frightening. People's feelings were running high as they argued over whether or not these events should be connected at all, though their voices are frequently muffled by louder conjecture. Some audience members advise caution and warn others that correlation does not equate to fact. Silence from those directly engaged becomes a talking point in and of itself as the hours go by. Commentators point out that there hasn't been a definitive denial or explanation, which further adds to the mystery. Different viewers interpret the silence differently. Some regard it as a sign of shock, while others see it as intentional. Narratives can develop unchecked due to the lack of clarity, with each retelling adding a new level of drama. By now, the narrative feels more like a maelstrom of overlapping issues than a collection of separate rumors. Fans show signs of weariness but stay glued to their displays, waiting for clarification that never materializes. The reported dispute, the purported rumor, and the news of the arrest all come together to form a compelling narrative that takes over feeds. People wonder how commenting culture got to the point where conjecture can so totally obscure fact. Throughout it all, one topic keeps coming up in conversations: the price of making one's own suffering a public spectacle. Regardless of the veracity of the reports, viewers perceive genuine feelings. Families seem to be at odds, friendships are called into doubt, and trust seems brittle. Commentators regard the drama as unsettling rather than amusing. As the story develops, viewers are left to consider their own part in disseminating unverified rumors. Not because there is nothing to say, but rather because there is too much noise and insufficient truth. The issue is still unsettled. What remains is a sense of disquiet, that once a rumor gets this far, it's nearly impossible to stop it, and everyone involved is forced to cope with the consequences of remarks that might not have been intended to go this far. Fans and commentators are dissecting every reported detail as the online chatter continues to escalate, moving from astonishment to analysis. Even though there isn't any real footage being shown, reaction films slow things down frame by frame, using tone, body language, and emotional indicators reported by anonymous individuals. Authors describe what they believe transpired during the purported discussion, even while everyone acknowledges that these retellings are based on reports rather than verified occurrences. Viewers are astounded by how realistic they feel. The rumor itself becomes a metaphor of something bigger, according to continuing criticism. According to viewers, illustrates how far reality TV drama has strayed from entertaining and into intensely personal terrain. Boundaries are a hot topic of conversation, with some questioning why health-related accusations are being made in the first place. Emotions were running high as some fans accused commentary channels of taking advantage of people's suffering, while others contended that reports do not go away if they are ignored. Disagreement over how incidents like this should be handled caused the family to become split. Not because of allegiance to one individual, alleged responses from those close to Tamar start to circulate during these discussions. Commentators describe private chats where worry swiftly gave way to rage, claiming that pals were incensed. They claimed that others in her immediate vicinity were concerned about her emotional health in addition to her reputation. These accounts claim that Tamar felt alone while observing outsiders debate her life as though it were a work of fiction. Once more, none of this is confirmed, but it strikes a chord since it is reminiscent of earlier times when public people faced comparable difficulties. Online speakers present Yandy's side of the story, which sounds equally nuanced. According to several critics, she felt singled out by persistent storylines that depict her as combative. They assert that she might have thought the circumstances were being fabricated to harm her reputation. In this version, annoyance accumulates over time until erupting during a tense moment that was never intended to be made public. Fans who listen to these beliefs are torn between acknowledging that reality TV settings frequently increase stress and placing blame. More people join the conversation while conjecture persists. Opinions are shared by bloggers, past cast members, and even casual viewers, each of whom adds another level. Alliances are re-examined, previous friendships are questioned, and disagreements from the past are reframed as warning indicators. Fans rewatched episodes from years past, believing they saw hints they had missed earlier, and their emotions were running high. Others contend that this type of hindsight only warps reality by transforming everyday disputes into proof of fictitious conspiracies. All of this is constantly framed by the alleged arrests of Mendeecees. Commentators keep coming back to it because it elevates the emotional stakes rather than because the details are obvious. Viewers make assumptions about pressure, stress, and the simultaneous collision of several crises. Some claim that the timing alone is overwhelming, while others maintain that it is reckless to link unconnected occurrences. Even in cases when there is insufficient evidence, audiences are drawn to stories that feel connected. Thus, the overlap continues to spark unending debate. Fans start to doubt social media's function as well. Many point out that if a rumor is repeated frequently enough, it can rapidly become a headline. Posts are reposted, redistributed, edited, and reworded until it is nearly impossible to identify the original source. Viewers' emotions were running high as they acknowledged that they were encircled by the story, even if they weren't sure who started it. This insight provokes discussions about accountability, not only for artists but also for viewers who participate mindlessly. Calls for compassion became louder in the midst of the pandemonium, reminding others that discussion does not exist in a vacuum. Some fans ask everyone to take a step back. They contend that whether or not reports are accurate, actual individuals are impacted. Tamar and Yandy supporters urge empathy, pointing out that it is conceivable for numerous people to be injured in the same circumstance. The family was split not by animosity, but by weariness from constant conjecture. Nevertheless, the drama engine continues to run. Every hour, new reaction videos that offer new perspectives or insights are released. Creators tease purported updates, only to emotionally reiterate the same details. Even as they criticize the cycle, followers are surprised by how seductive it feels. Many acknowledge that they continue to watch in the hopes of seeing clarity a moment when one of the parties involved speaks clearly and puts an end to the confusion. The story is still shaped by the main character's silence. Commentators argue about the meaning of that quiet, interpreting every moment without making a declaration. Some claim that it's wise to keep quiet in order to safeguard mental wellness, Others see it as proof that something significant is taking place behind closed doors. As viewers projected their own expectations onto others, their emotions ran high. The fan base grows weary as the days go by. People complain about being duped by headlines that offer guesswork, but guarantee the facts. However, they also recognize their own contribution to the narrative's continuation. Conversations turn inward, asking why viewers are drawn to drama based on ambiguity, the purported rumor, the reported altercation. And the news of the arrest start to seem less like distinct incidents and more like emblems of a society that encourages mayhem. The plot had taken on a life of its own by this point. It now belongs to the internet as a whole rather than the individuals directly involved. Fans continue to refresh their feeds while debating morality, media ethics, and emotional boundaries. Everyone is on edge due to the report's unresolved nature, which produces an odd mixture of intrigue and worry. The emotional toll that these stories can have is still evident in these continuing conversations. The continual commentary feels heavy, especially in the absence of confirmation. Audiences are left wondering where amusement ends and harm begins when friendships are called into question and trust is damaged. Many followers secretly wish for a moment of honesty or closure as the rumors continue to circulate. This might eventually calm the storm and serve as a reminder to everyone that there are people behind every headline who are carrying the impact of words that move quicker than fact. The tone of internet discussion shifts from explosive to uneasy as the news continues to circulate. Fans who were initially enthralled with the drama now seem worried, even conflicted, about how far things have progressed. Commentary networks begin to present the story as a warning about rumor culture rather than as entertainment, even if they reiterate that these are reports and internet assertions rather than verified incidents. Viewers from the outside see the emotional harm as genuine. The speed at which the purported rumor separated from its initial source is a common topic of dispute. People acknowledge that the narrative is ubiquitous and they no longer know where it originated. Videos cite previous videos, posts quote other posts, and conjecture feeds on itself. As fans realized they were responding to a story that was essentially based on repetition, their emotions were running high. Some people apologize for posting videos or remarks without first asking questions. At the same time, rumored responses from those in close proximity to the matter are still making the rounds. Family members on all sides, according to critics, are upset and disappointed because they feel forced into a situation they did not select. They recount heated discussions between loved ones in private when they debate whether to speak up or keep quiet. The family was split up because no one could agree on how to deal with public attention, not because of personal disputes. Fans are becoming more concerned about Tamar's emotional health, and her name continues to be at the center of the controversy. Many claim that it might be damaging to even hear these rumors repeated. They use memories of her candid discussions about mental health issues in the past to make the case for compassion. Comment sections were teeming with letters pleading with people to stop guessing and give those affected a chance to breathe. Conversely, Yandy's followers oppose what they perceive to be a biased narrative. They contend that a person's reputation might be equally harmed by being linked to an unsubstantiated claim. Some admirers claim that, based just on hearsay, she is being represented as hostile or malevolent. They remind people that in order to keep viewers interested, reaction channels frequently dramatize events. Viewers' differences are merely widened by this back and forth. Every conversation is still clouded by the supposed arrest of Mendeecees. The arrest is mentioned as background even when pundits attempt to concentrate on the rumor itself. Fans make assumptions about pressure, tension, and how emotions might be heightened by overlapping situations. Others maintain that it is unfair and deceptive to connect the arrest to unrelated stories. People's emotions were running high as they argued over whether or not it was appropriate to bring it up at all. As time goes on, the absence of specific updates takes on a life of its own. Commentators start talking about silence as though it were a declaration. Some claim that people are being silent due to personal boundaries or legal guidance. Others contend that keeping quiet lets rumors spread unchecked. The lack of clarity leaves room for imagination, which swiftly fills that space. And viewers find themselves analyzing what is not said as much as what is. Additionally, the topic of fans' own roles comes up. Many acknowledge that, even inadvertently, they feel complicit. They wonder why calmer voices are harder to hear while dramatic headlines garner so much attention. People's emotions were running high as they considered their own clicking, sharing, and impulsive reactions. While some promise to take a back seat, others admit they continue to check every update. Media ethics start to come up frequently. Commentators argue over whether it is feasible to talk about rumors in a responsible manner or whether repetition on its own is harmful. Some contend that when the subject is so delicate, disclaimers are insufficient. Some claim that commentary just reflects what viewers want. These arguments also caused division among the family, as there was no clear consensus regarding accountability. Instead of delivering hot takes, fresh creators join the discourse with thought-provoking works. They discuss how the distinction between private and public life is blurred by reality television. They contend that breaking boundaries has become commonplace due to years of witnessing personal struggle for entertainment. As viewers saw patterns in this story, as well as throughout the genre, their emotions were running high. The purported rumor turns into a metaphor for a much bigger problem. The agony increases. But the narrative doesn't go away. Countdowns appear, thumbnails hint at disclosures that never materialize, and updates are promised. The cycle's ability to survive only on anticipation astounds fans. Every new video seems to have the potential to finally provide clarity. But the majority only serve to reinforce pre-existing conjecture. Curiosity grows along with irritation. A more subdued feeling starts to surface behind all of this commotion. Many viewers hope that the individuals involved are shielded from the limelight and given support. They understand that no amount of internet discussion can take the place of in-person discussions. As fans reminded one another that they only knew the versions of these people that were shown on film and online, their emotions were running high. The tone changes once more. This time towards fatigue, as the story goes on without a conclusion. People claim they are sick of being duped by drama based on ambiguity. However, they also acknowledge that disengaging is more difficult than anticipated. Fans now virtually always check on the narrative since it has been ingrained in their daily lives. A feeling of disequilibrium is what's left at this point. The reported altercation is still unconfirmed. The arrest news looms large in the backdrop, and the purported rumor continues to circulate without verification. When combined, they create an unbreakable cloud of tension. In addition to wondering what transpired, viewers are left wondering why they are so emotionally committed. Ultimately, the ongoing debate emphasizes how brittle reality can seem in the era of non-stop commentary. The emotional impact persists even when everyone acknowledges that these are merely reports. Lines become hazy, trust erodes, and the internet only advances after leaving wounds. Many fans silently question whether any conclusion, when it eventually occurs, will be sufficient to lessen the impact of everything that has already been spoken as they watch and wait. The energy surrounding the topic grows, heavier and more introspective as the conversation goes on. Fans who used to react quickly to comments now take their time, recognizing that something about this circumstance seems different. Commentators observe that suffering has taken the place of the thrill. Although the purported rumor has not yet been verified, its shadow is present everywhere. People start to understand that if they go this far, even unsubstantiated, claims can have a lasting impact. Discussion boards are filled with lengthy posts rather than brief responses. Viewers provide their personal opinions about why this specific assertion was so offensive. It hits on vulnerability rather than rivalry, according to many. Fans were feeling worried about speculation being handled as entertainment, and emotions were running high. They contend that certain subjects should be handled carefully, regardless of how well-known the individual in question may be, even while the narrative is still extensively discussed. This change in tone alters how it is absorbed. Commentators continue to make imprecise references to persons who claim to be close to the situation. They talk of tiredness, phones that never stop buzzing, and intimate moments that are cut short by noise from the public. The family couldn't agree on how to react. Some wanted to confront the rumors directly, while others thought it would be best to keep quiet. Fans understand that in such a dynamic setting, any remark could be misconstrued or perverted. Tamar supporters are becoming more vocal in their demands for limits. They make the point that reiterating a claim, even if it is unverified, keeps it alive. Many followers express concern that the incessant discourse may result in long-term emotional damage. They make the case that compassion should come first by recalling instances in the past where public scrutiny obviously had a negative impact. People's emotions were running high as they begged that the story not be repeated at the same time. Discussions concerning Yandy also become increasingly complex. Some viewers acknowledge that their initial opinions of her were based on exaggerated retellings. Now that they've had time to think, they wonder if that verdict was just. They point out how simple it is to use repetition rather than proof to paint someone as a villain. Fans talk about how the distinction between personality and persona is frequently blurred by reality, TV editing, and internet discussion, making it challenging to recognize the individual behind the drama, although the alleged arrest of Mendeecees is still in the background. Its significance in the narrative starts to seem more symbolic than true. Commentators speculate that it illustrates how conflicting demands can intensify stress for all parties. Others still caution about making connections between unrelated incidents. Viewers' emotions were running high as they debated whether bringing up the arrest offers context or just heightens conjecture. These disputes remain unresolved due to the absence of definitive solutions. An increasing proportion of followers begin to completely stop interacting with reaction content. They claim they are sick of hearing the same narrative told in various emotional contexts. Some creators say that they are tired and that they don't have much new to offer. Nevertheless, because silence works poorly online, the cycle persists. The system's preference for repetition over restraint astounds fans. It is evident that the plot has developed beyond its initial spark as it shifts across timelines. What started out as rumors and an alleged altercation has evolved into a more comprehensive conversation about media culture. Viewers discuss empathy, accountability, and the price of turning conjecture into spectacle. People's emotions were high as they recognized patterns they had previously observed, where involvement took precedence over the truth. The lack of direct statements from the parties concerned continues to be a focus point. Despite the risk involved, pundits continue to speculate on the meaning of that quiet. Some contend that refusing to react is a kind of self-defense. Some claim that it allows for too much creativity. Fans are still divided about whether official statements can ever provide closure or if the narrative will just fade as attention moves on. Once more, private and public consumption are contrasted. Viewers talk about how popularity on reality TV raises expectations of access and gives viewers a sense of entitlement to justifications. Even while they engage in it, many acknowledge that they struggle with that entitlement, as fans faced their own curiosity and wondered where it came from and why it was so difficult to let go. Emotions ran high. The conversation starts to wane gradually. There are fewer updates, and those that occur seem monotonous rather than revolutionary. This is seen by some fans as the plot losing steam. No matter how quietly things end, some fear that the damage has already been done. The family was split between those who wanted closure and those who wanted the spotlight to go on. Not only within the story, but also among the viewers. Reaction is replaced by reflection during this more subdued stage. Instead of discussing sides, they discuss lessons. They talk about how narratives develop quickly and how hard it is to reverse them. Fans' emotions were running high as they realized that the memories of the reports would endure even if they were eventually proven false. In the public view, a reputation that has been damaged does not always totally recover by the time focus shifts to other things. Only a feeling of discomfort is left. The reported confrontation was never well explained. The purported rumor was never verified, and the arrest announcement still lacks extensively discussed specifics. However, the story's impact seems genuine. It has provoked discussions, strained views, and shown how brittle the line between harm and commentary can be. Many observers have conflicting emotions as the cacophony gradually subsides. Some people are relieved that there are now fewer frequent updates. Others are uneasy and wish things had been handled differently from the beginning. The most lasting reminder is that words spread quickly, particularly online, and once they are published, they are difficult to take back ultimately. The story fades into the background of online memory, providing yet another illustration of how rumors may take front stage without a conclusion. Fans move on to other subjects, but the issues are still present. How much accountability do creators have when making unsubstantiated claims? How much accountability do viewers have when they watch them? And when does amusement turn into something far more harmful? Long after the headlines lose their intensity, these questions remain unresolved. The most important concerns remain unanswered after hearing how these reports developed and how the responses continued to change. What actually took place in the background? How much of what went viral on the internet was influenced by emotion and repetition? And how much was based on the facts? Fans are astounded not only by the assertions themselves, but also by the speed at which a rumor may spread and impact actual individuals. The entire incident was marked by intense emotions, and there is still no obvious resolution. Your voice is important in this situation. You have witnessed the emotions, the criticism, and the various points of contention. Do you believe that talking about unconfirmed claims goes too far? Or is it just a feature of contemporary media culture? Is silence sometimes the healthiest course of action? Or should prominent personalities be expected to address every rumor? Both the audience observing from the outside and the family were left with differing opinions. Make sure to support the channel. If you think this breakdown was thought-provoking, please click like so that additional people who are interested in learning how these stories develop can watch this video. If you want to be informed about upcoming analysis that looks beyond the headlines and into the wider picture, subscribe. And above all, provide your opinions in the comments. Tell us what you believe should happen next, how you feel about this issue, and what caught your attention the most. We want to hear your point of view because it contributes to the discussion.